Making headlines this hour, President states that the Maldives is working towards building a competitive economy by opening its doors to sustainable investment. The Maldives Sri Lanka Business Forum, aimed at providing information on investment and business opportunities in the Maldives to foreign stakeholders, is held in Colombo. And in a significant milestone for the Maldivian diaspora, President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu officially launches the service of printing and issuing national identity cards and passports in Sri Lanka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Abdullah Ahil. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu states that the Maldives is working towards building a competitive economy by opening its doors to sustainable investment.
He made the remarks while inaugurating the Maldives Sri Lanka Business Forum held in Sri Lanka, where he outlined the government's efforts to create an investor-friendly environment. Addressing the forum, the president highlighted the reforms implemented to strengthen the investment landscape in the Maldives. He noted that as the two countries approach 60 years of diplomatic relations, the partnership continues to be defined by strong economic ties, innovation and strategic collaboration. President Muizzu said the Maldives is currently at a pivotal stage of development, with the government pursuing policies aimed at transforming the country into a developed nation by 2040. He explained that these policies are built on key pillars including human capital development, technological advancement and environmental sustainability.
This is a transformative step designed to take our world-renowned tourism sector into a new era, one that is bigger, bolder and brighter. From simplifying regulatory frameworks to strengthening our institutions, we are shaping an economy that is open, dynamic and globally competitive. An economy where investors find confidence and where innovation thrives. And these reforms are already delivering results.
The president also noted that the government has introduced significant legal reforms to support investment, including overhauling the 40-year-old foreign investment law and updating foreign investment requirements to provide greater clarity for investors. He added that while measures are being taken to protect established local businesses, the government is also opening new opportunities for foreign expertise and technology in priority sectors of national development. President Muizzu stressed that efforts to modernize laws and strengthen institutions are contributing to the development of a transparent and globally competitive economy. He said these reforms are already delivering results, creating an environment where investors can operate with confidence and where new investments can grow. Highlighting growing international confidence, the president referred to the Divara project by Google as an example of increasing trust among major global corporations in the Maldivian economy. He further noted that while the Maldives continues to attract foreign investment, Maldivian businesses are also seeking opportunities to invest abroad. Given Sri Lanka's role as a key partner, he said a strong bilateral investment environment would benefit both countries. In conclusion, President Muizzu invited Sri Lankan businesses as well as international companies based in Sri Lanka to explore and undertake sustainable investment opportunities in the Maldives.
The Maldives Sri Lanka Business Forum, aimed at providing information on investment and business opportunities in the Maldives to foreign stakeholders, is held in Colombo. This marks the 10th forum of its kind organized by the Maldives.
President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu attended the forum, which focused on showcasing Maldivian investment opportunities to Sri Lankan investors. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Hariye Amarasuriya also participated in the event. Approximately 300 participants attended the forum, including investors from both the Maldives and Sri Lanka. During the session, detailed information was shared on investment opportunities across key sectors, including tourism, fisheries and agriculture. Investors were also briefed on several major development projects currently underway in the Maldives. These include the Sustainable Township Investment Project, the Rasmale Project, and the Port Development Project planned for Tilafushi. The forum forms a part of broader efforts to strengthen economic ties between the Maldives and Sri Lanka and to attract foreign investment into the Maldivian economy. While the latest forum was held to engage Sri Lankan investors, it follows a similar business forum conducted in the Maldives during the Sri Lankan president's visit last year. The Maldives continues to organize such forums internationally to promote investment opportunities. To date, similar events have been successfully held in countries including China, the UAE, India, Singapore, and the United Kingdom.
In a significant milestone for the Maldivian diaspora, President Dr. Mohamed Muiz officially launches the service of printing and issuing national identity cards and passports in Sri Lanka during his ongoing state visit to the country.
The President was accompanied by First Lady Madam Sajida Mohammed during the visit. Upon arrival at the Maldives High Commission, they were warmly welcomed by High Commissioner of Maldives to Sri Lanka, Masood Imad. Following the official welcome, President Muiz signed the Distinguished Visitors Book and took the opportunity to meet with the staff of the High Commission, expressing appreciation for their service to the Maldivian community in Sri Lanka. During the ceremony, President Muiz handed over the first locally issued Maldivian passport to a Maldivian citizen living in Sri Lanka. This initiative forms part of a broader strategy to introduce identity card services in countries where Maldivians frequently travel or reside. Sri Lanka becomes the second nation to offer these passport and ID card services outside the Maldives, following Malaysia, which was the first country to provide such conveniences to Maldivians abroad. The selection of Sri Lanka of this service reflects the substantial presence of the Maldivian community in the country. With these new services now operational, Maldivians residing in Sri Lanka can obtain or renew their passports and national identity cards without the need to travel back to the Maldives, significantly reducing the time, expense, and logistical challenges previously associated with such consular matters. The government has simultaneously strengthened domestic services by establishing passport and identity card facilities across all atolls of the Maldives, ensuring comprehensive coverage for citizens both at home and abroad. In addition to the official functions at the High Commission, the President visited the Maldives Cultural Center in Colombo, where he reviewed the range of community services provided to Maldivians residing in Sri Lanka. The Maldives Cultural Center is located at Sosam Villa, a landmark property that serves as an educational and cultural hub for the local Maldivian community, offering Divehi language classes and Islamic education.
The Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited, or MIFCO, officially introduces its range of fish products to the Sri Lankan market during a ceremony attended by President Mohamed Muiz as part of his ongoing state visit to Sri Lanka.
Minister of Fisheries, Agriculture and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam led the introduction of MIFCO's premium fish products at the ceremony, delivering remarks that highlighted the cultural and economic significance of the initiative. The minister noted that even prior to the official market entry, consumers in Sri Lanka has demonstrated a strong preference for high-quality fish products. He said the long-standing relationship between the two countries has facilitated the introduction of MIFCO's products to the Sri Lankan market, contributing to closer economic ties. Minister Shiam also outlined the broader vision underpinning the Maldives' fisheries modernization efforts under President Muiz's administration. He highlighted the government's commitment to developing the fisheries sector in a manner that promotes environmental sustainability and economic efficiency, positioning the Maldives as a leader in responsible marine resource management. He added that the launch would enable consumers in Sri Lanka to access premium Maldivian fish products while creating new opportunities for cross-border business collaboration between the two countries. During the ceremony, MIFCO unveiled its Fasmiru brand, which includes a range of products such as smoked tuna, canned tuna varieties, and traditional dried fish products. The event was attended by several Sri Lankan officials, including Minister of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development Vasantha Samarasinghe and Chief Executive Officer of Development Interplan Ceylon Zuraish Hashim. The market entry builds on a key initiative launched by the government in July last year, when the From Maldives national brand for fishery products was introduced. The branding initiative forms part of a broader strategy to increase economic returns from the fisheries sector while expanding processing, packaging, and cold chain infrastructure. The From Maldives brand is an initiative of the Maldives Fisheries and Ocean Resources Marketing and Promotion Corporation, a state-owned entity established under a presidential directive to support the participation of Maldivian fish product manufacturers in international markets.
Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Ali Sharif, says the government is advancing efforts to significantly expand its early warning systems in response to escalating climate change vulnerabilities.
Speaking at the President's office, Minister Sharif highlighted the critical need to fortify disaster preparedness through a broadened national radar network. While the state currently relies on a single installation in Hurule, comprehensive plans are underway to deploy additional systems across various regions. The technical expansion, currently in the tendering phase, involves acquiring several smaller radar units and installing a large-scale facility in Gang. Minister Sharif stated that they are in the process of acquiring several smaller radar units while simultaneously advancing efforts to install a major radar facility in Gang. These efforts align with directives from President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu, who has reinforced the administration's commitment to state-of-the-art meteorological technology to ensure island residents receive timely alerts. Current strategies are intricately designed around a robust disaster risk reduction framework. Central to this initiative is the Maldives Disaster Risk Reduction Strategy 2024 to 2030, aimed at safeguarding critical infrastructure. To finance these protections, the administration has advocated globally for increased aid for small island developing states. The Green Climate Fund has allocated $25 million to the Maldives to deploy early warning alarm systems nationwide, a grant that will be utilized in partnership with the UN Environment Programme.
Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Ali Sharif, calls on businesses to invest in modern solutions to address climate change and improve energy efficiency.
The minister made the remarks while speaking at the official launch of the nationwide campaign, It's Cool at 25, which aims to promote energy conservation across the Maldives. The event was also attended by Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development Ismail Shafiu, along with senior officials from the Environment Ministry. Minister Ali Sharif stated that the purpose of the campaign is to encourage the adoption of efficient energy practices, reduce harmful emissions released into the atmosphere, and ensure a sustainable future for future generations. He highlighted that the Maldives does not have its own fossil fuel resources and remains heavily dependent on imported fuel. As a result, a significant portion of national expenditure is allocated for fuel imports, with around 10% of national income spent for this purpose last year alone. The minister emphasized that this is not a challenge the government can address alone and that a collective effort is required. He called on institutions to increase awareness and urged the wider society to take responsibility in energy use. In particular, he appealed to businesses to invest in modern technologies and adopt more efficient energy practices. He further noted that energy is closely linked to all aspects of daily life, including transport, healthcare, education, industry, and construction. As most electricity in the Maldives is generated using imported diesel, fluctuations in global oil prices have a direct and significant impact on the country. Therefore, reducing energy waste is not only important, but essential for national security, economic stability, and sustainable development. Speaking at the same event, Minister of Education, Higher Education and Skills Development, Dr. Ismail Shafiu, said the education is not limited to teaching a curriculum, but also involves instilling good habits, skills, respect, and responsible behavior in students. He highlighted the important role of teachers and school leaders in building a disciplined and environmentally conscious society. The It's Cool at 25 campaign aims to encourage households, businesses, and government institutions to reduce energy consumption and adopt environmentally friendly technologies. It also promotes the Hakatari program, which introduces energy efficiency standards in the Maldives. Through its star rating system, consumers will be able to identify appliances that use less electricity, making it easier to choose energy-efficient products.
Land reclamation for the development of an airport in Milandu, Shaviani Atoll, is completed. The initiative has been assigned to the Maldives Airports Company Limited, or MACL, with dredging works commencing on the 3rd of April. In a post on social media, President Dr. Mohammed Muiz stated that reclamation for the project was completed on the 4th of May, with 21 hectares reclaimed in 31 days. He added that trees had been cleared from 4.9 hectares of land, bringing the total project area to 25.9 hectares. The project involved the placement of 1,134,534 cubic meters of sand. Dredging was carried out using Boskalis and Queen of the Netherlands dredger, which has a capacity of 35,000 cubic meters. The development aligns with President Muiz's pledge to establish an airport in Milandu, an island with a population of over 2,700. He has assured that the project will be completed within his current term. MACL was assigned the land reclamation for both the airport and harbor development projects in October 2025, with practical works scheduled for completion within 8 months from the start date. The government has stated that the project was entrusted to MACL to ensure the most efficient use of land in both the short and long term. The harbor area is also being temporarily relocated to facilitate airport construction, with provisions for this included in the overall design of the development. The Housing Development Corporation, or HDC, signs an agreement designating the corporation as a partner of the Asia Media Summit, which is being hosted by Public Service Media, or PSM. The agreement was signed by PSM's Managing Director Ahmed Shakib and HTC's Acting Director for Corporate Social Responsibility Hussein Shahid. Under this partnership, HTC will facilitate activities at Kodagiri following the conclusion of the Asia Media Summit. The summit is an annual event organized by the Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development, or AIBD, and this year it is being hosted by PSM. PSM Managing Director Ahmed Shakib stated that a range of special activities will take place in Kodagiri after the summit. He highlighted HTC's key role in coral planting initiative to be carried out on the island, noting that coral restoration is an important step towards environmental conservation in the Maldives. He added that such efforts demonstrate the country's commitment to sustainability on the global stage. HTC's Acting Director for Corporate Social Responsibility, Hussein Shahid, said that the summit would draw significant international media to Kodagiri, creating valuable promotional opportunities for the island. The Asia Media Summit will be held from the 11th to the 14th of May at Villa Nautica Resort. Pre-summit workshops are scheduled for the 11th of May, with 5 sessions planned. The official opening of the summit will take place on the 12th of May. PSM is currently finalizing preparations for the event. As AIBD's flagship forum, the summit is expected to bring together around 200 delegates from the broadcasting industry across the Asia-Pacific region. Insights into business. Samsung Biologics estimates that a strike by its union over pay has cost the contract drug manufacturer about $101.90 million so far, marking the latest labor unrest to hit the South Korean conglomerate.
The estimate reflected the financial impact from a partial disruption to overall line production, the company said in an email sent to Reuters. According to the union's website, a total of 2,861 employees, about half of the total workforce, have been striking since April 28th. Management offered a 6.2% hike, according to the company. In response to the company's estimate on the potential cost of the labor action, the union said management should make more effort to reach a deal rather than asking workers to stop striking. The union also said the company was struggling with slower orders due to staff shortages and excessive cost reduction that hurt its competitiveness. The union said both sides will resume talks.
Updates on world events. The UN reiterates its call to open the Strait of Hormuz.
Iran hit several ships in the Strait of Hormuz and set a UAE oil port ablaze as President Donald Trump's attempt to use the U.S. Navy to free up shipping provoked the war's biggest escalation since the ceasefire was declared 4 weeks ago.
I think we're still trying to fully understand exactly what this means. But that being said, our position remains the same, that the Strait of Hormuz needs to be reopened. Freedom of navigation needs to be reestablished. We need to see a return of what has been centuries of practice, of common law, which is freedom of navigation in these waters.
Trump's new mission, Project Freedom, which he announced on social media overnight to release ships stuck in the strait, was the first apparent attempt to make use of naval power to unblock the world's most important energy shipping route. But at least in the initial hours on Monday, the gamble appeared to have backfired, bringing no surge of merchant shipping through the strait while provoking a show of force from Iran, which had long threatened to respond to any escalation with new attacks on its neighbors.
Moving on to sports, a Dutch court dismisses a legal challenge by NAC Breda seeking to force a replay of their league match against Go Ahead Eagles, a ruling that averted a potential logistical crisis for the Eredivisie.
NAC were contesting a 6-0 defeat on March 15th, arguing that Go Ahead Eagles defender Dean James should not have been allowed to play because the defender had lost his Dutch nationality after taking Indonesian citizenship in order to represent the Asian country in World Cup qualifiers, rendering him ineligible under Dutch football regulations. The Utrecht court sided with the Royal Dutch Football Association, KNVB, which had declined to approve a replay. Although the KNVB acknowledged that James should technically have been ineligible because of the passport issue, it argued that neither the club nor the player had been aware at the time that his change of nationality would automatically carry legal consequences.
It's a complex issue. For example, Moroccan players are allowed to play for the Moroccan team without losing their Dutch nationality, because they can basically have two nationality. When it comes to, for example, to Suriname players, they have a special kind of passport, a sports passport, so they don't lose their Dutch nationality.
The verdict ended a period of significant uncertainty for Dutch football. The KNVB had warned that ruling in NAC's favor could have triggered a snowball effect, potentially placing more than 130 matches under legal scrutiny due to the participation of other ineligible players. For the approximately 25 players affected by the so-called passport gate crisis, the process of regaining Dutch citizenship or gaining a work permit to continue plying their trade in Dutch football remains unclear. Big clubs in the Eredivisie, the top tier of the Dutch pyramid, will likely be able to fork out the minimum gross annual salary of 500,000 to 600,000 euros or 150% of the league average to register former Dutch nationals who have since become non-EU foreign players after representing another country in international football. Such costs now mean, however, that diaspora players under contract with smaller sides or those in lower divisions may have to say goodbye to their international careers if they wish to continue playing in the Netherlands.
Concluding with news and entertainment, Reuters wins 2 Pulitzer Prizes, one for national reporting for stories on U.S. President Donald Trump's campaign of political retribution, and another for beat reporting for investigations revealing how social media behemoth Meta knowingly exposed users, including children, to harmful artificial intelligence chatbots and fraudulent advertisements.
Other winners included The Washington Post, which took home the prestigious award for public service for its reporting on the Trump administration's sweeping cuts to federal agencies, and The New York Times, which won 3 awards, including the Investigative Reporting Prize for its probes into how Trump, his family, and his allies have profited from the presidency.
The finalists for national reporting: staff of Bloomberg, for coverage of the Trump administration's deregulation of cryptocurrencies, which revealed conflicts of interest within a complex industry filled with unusual characters. Staff of Reuters, notably Ned Parker, Linda So, Peter Eisler, and Mike Spector, for documenting how the president used the U.S. government and the influence of his supporters to expand executive power and exact vengeance on his foes.
The National Reporting Award, shared by Reuters staff, notably Ned Parker, Linda So, Peter Eisler, and Mike Spector, was based on a series of stories detailing Trump's extraordinary efforts to use the levers of government to punish his political enemies. The beat reporting work, authored by technology investigations reporter Jeff Horwitz with China correspondent Anjan Thum, employed previously unreported internal documents as well as innovative techniques testing Facebook and Instagram accounts to unearth secrets of Meta's business model. The reporting sparked regulatory probes and litigation around the world and prompted Meta itself to reform key practices. In response to the outcry over the chatbot coverage, Meta immediately revised its AI guidelines to stop letting its bots engage in romantic conversations with children. Reuters also had finalists in 2 other Pulitzer categories. A team of
And that's all the news we have for today. We'll be back with any further updates. Until then, I'm Abdullah Ahil from PSM News.